November 9th, 2009, the night before Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 releases for the very first time. You get on your old school Xbox 360 and maybe you play a few games of Call of Duty World at War or Call of Duty 4 to get prepared for what's next. Tomorrow is the day. But before diving into the new adventure, you decide to revisit the predecessors that paved the way. You sit in front of your console, controller in hand, ready to embark on a night of gaming nostalgia. You battle against zombies, or you participate in the fierce search and destroy match as you hear players in voice chat talking about how they are getting prepared to pick up Modern Warfare 2 the next day. As the hours tick away, you're lost in the world of virtual warfare, honing your skills and mentally preparing for the next day's release. The multiplayer matches, with their strategic gameplay and additive progression system that had kept you glued to the screen and eager to level up, would be getting its final hurrah tonight. With the night passing by in a blur of gunfire and excitement, you finally start to feel the weight of exhaustion tugging at your eyelids, and you know you need to rest, as tomorrow holds the promise of an unforgettable experience. As the first rays of sunlight peek through your window, you wake with a surge of energy. The day has arrived. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 awaits, and you barely can contain your excitement. You eagerly anticipate the after-school journey to GameStop, where you'll join fellow gamers in line, all united in their shared anticipation for what Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 holds. Little do you know that this release will become one of the biggest video game events of the decade, etching itself into gaming history forever, leaving a mark on your teenage years. And today is the day you'll step into a world of unforgettable moments, forging friendships and creating memories that could last a lifetime. The development of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 began shortly after the release of its predecessor, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, in 2007. Now, this game was hugely successful, so the developer, Infinity Ward, being brought back to work on a follow-up game wasn't no surprise, and they set out to build upon the success of that first game while also pushing boundaries in the first-person shooter genre. The team at Infinity Ward was led by creative leads Jason West and Vince Zampella, who this time around aimed to create an even more immersive and cinematic experience for players. They sought to deliver a gripping narrative, intense gameplay, and a memorable multiplayer that would captivate fans worldwide and make Modern Warfare a household name. Matter of fact, in the early days of marketing for Modern Warfare 2, the game itself was marketed as just Modern Warfare 2, without Call of Duty being associated with the title in any way. It wouldn't be until shortly before the actual release that Activision made the decision to reinsert the Call of Duty title upon the game for more brand recognition. Amongst the fan base, though, a lot of people still were considering this game Call of Duty 6 or COD 6 Modern Warfare 2, just because of the naming conventions that had existed in previous titles, where it was originally COD 4 Modern Warfare. This would be an interesting naming mechanic amongst the fan base that wouldn't shake off until years after Modern Warfare 2 originally released. Development on Modern Warfare 2, though, faced several challenges, including the pressure to meet high expectations set by its predecessor, and the team wanting to raise the bar in terms of graphics, gameplay, mechanics, and of course storytelling, which required significant time and resources. One notable aspect of Modern Warfare 2's development was the expansion of the team, as Infinity Ward had to add more staff members, including programmers, artists, and designers, to handle the ambitious scope of the game. They really only had less than 2 years to really turn this game around and have it ready for store shelves. Expanding the team allowed for more intricate level design, improved AI, and enhanced graphical fidelity. This game also introduced the new and highly anticipated Spec Ops mode, which added cooperative missions for players to tackle together, and this new mode required even more attention to level design and multiplayer infrastructure, further adding to the complexity of the development process. As the release date approached, the excitement surrounding Modern Warfare 2 reached a fever pitch. The game was highly anticipated, with fans eagerly awaiting its launch and the opportunity to continue Modern Warfare's storyline and, of course, play that multiplayer. Leading up to its release, marketing efforts ramped up, and trailers showcasing the game's intense action and epic set pieces generated even more buzz. And finally, on November 10th, 2009, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was released to critical acclaim and immediate commercial success. The game shattered records, becoming one of the fastest selling video games of all time, and it achieved universal praise for its gripping campaign, explosive multiplayer, and technical achievements. As you step out of school, your backpack heavy with anticipation, you make a beeline for GameStop. The release of Modern Warfare 2 has finally arrived, and you, a young teenager, can hardly contain your enthusiasm. As you walk into the store, the vibrant atmosphere washes over you, the walls adorned with game posters, the shelves displaying rows upon rows of titles, and the familiar scent of new plastic and anticipation fill the air. You join the bustling crowd of fellow gamers, all eagerly awaiting for their turn to embark on this action-packed adventure, and as you stand in line, the energy is palpable. Conversations between strangers merge into a symphony of shared anticipation. The buzz of excitement builds as you overhear snippets of conversation about what maps are going to be cool and what kill streaks are in the game, and the promise of an unforgettable multiplayer experience. Finally, it's your turn. You step up to the counter, the game case glistening under the store's fluorescent lights. The cashier hands you the coveted package, and you cradle it carefully in your hands, feeling the weight of your expectations and the countless hours of gaming ahead. The journey home seems to stretch forever as your mind races through thoughts of intense firefights, captivating storylines, and the camaraderie of online battles. Arriving home, you hastily unbox your game, wasting no time at all, and as the game boots up and the iconic title screen flashes before you, for the first time ever, you hear the epic soundtrack pumping through your speakers, preparing you for what's ahead. You get your Xbox headset that looks like this, or if your parents really loved you, they got you this one, even though this other one was actually technically better. Or if you're a PlayStation player, you might have had this. Probably not, though. You quickly join the party chat with your friends, and you realize that no one is talking, oddly enough. You wait a moment and maybe do some troubleshooting until you get an invite into the game and realize everyone's in game chat. Modern Warfare 2 had put a restriction in that game, not allowing party chat in certain game types like Team Deathmatch and Search and Destroy, requiring you to go into game chat and converse with fellow players. You load in with your squad as you hear your friend Kevin bragging about how he already got the heartbeat sensor unlocked. You don't know what that means, but you think it sounds really cool. You load into your first game, the map is run down, and you look through the pre-made classes for which gun you're going to try out first. You play your first game, and it kind of was awesome. You think you did really good, when in reality you probably had like a 0.6 or 0.7 kill death ratio, and then you play your second game. This one's on Wasteland, and you don't know where you're getting shot from half the time, but you're just excited to be playing this game. But it's by the third game you play on Scrapyard, where things are more action-packed than they had been so far, you realize at that very moment that the game is way better and bigger than anyone expected. Looking back at the multiplayer experience of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 in 2009, it becomes very clear why it stood out as a truly unique and unforgettable chapter in the franchise history. From the iconic weapons like the Intervention and the UMP-45 to its very diverse map selection, Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer offered a blend of intensity, customization, and social elements that left a memorable mark on players. One of the standout features of Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer was its weapon arsenal. The Intervention sniper rifle quickly became legendary, known for its high damage output and deadly accuracy, and then there were maps like Estate, which were built for this type of gameplay. But other maps like Subbase and Skid Row offered an exhilarating experience for players who had mastered the art of quickscoping, adding a new dimension to sniping gameplay that hadn't really been present in Call of Duty games prior. That UMP-45 submachine gun, on the other hand, provided a versatile and reliable option for close quarter combat with a balanced rate of fire and manageable recoil. That, alongside the other arsenal of powerful weapons, added a unique experience amongst the diverse set of map locations players would be placed in. Whether it was the snowy lands of Derail, the war-torn streets of Invasion, or the rainy wetlands of Underpass, any weapon was viable if you were skilled enough. Some people used the P90, others ran around with a riot shield. There were different and crazy approaches to however you wanted to play Modern Warfare 2. And then you always had that one teammate who would get their care packages stuck on the overpass. Ultimately, the guns in Modern Warfare 2 all packed a punch no matter which you used, in turn making anything viable if you were at least skilled enough. Of course, it wasn't just the guns. Modern Warfare 2 released with a large number of very memorable and well-designed maps that made a massive difference in how Modern Warfare 2 was perceived at launch. There were maps like High Rise, which set on a skyscraper rooftop and offered intense vertical combat and strategic sniping locations. There was Terminal, which brought the fight into this airport with close quarter battles inside some of the cramped cramped hallways and sprawling tarmac areas, and of course Rust, which provided a compact and chaotic arena where every corner and crate could potentially lead to an intense firefight. Other noteworthy maps included Favela with its vibrant Brazilian setting and tight alleyways, Karachi, a destroyed city, and Afghan, an expansive desert landscape perfect for long-range engagement. Each map offered its own unique tactical opportunities and challenges, ensuring that players constantly adapted their strategies to the ever-changing environment. Beyond the gameplay itself, Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer was a social hub, connecting players from around the world, and the voice chat feature, with how commonplace it was back in 2009, allowed for real-time communication, fostering camaraderie and friendly banter among teammates and opponents alike. Clans and communities would form around Modern Warfare 2, creating a sense of belonging and competition that extended beyond the confines of the game itself. Additionally, the return of the prestige system provided players with a level of progression and customization, and the opportunity to reset their rank and earn those little prestigious emblems that showcased dedication and skill. It also added this little level of literal prestige to the multiplayer experience as players aimed to reach the highest level and showcase their accomplishments. But it wasn't just the multiplayer that made Modern Warfare 2 what it was. The story was impeccable too. As you sit in your dimly lit room, controller in hand, you're ready to embark on the single-player journey that Modern Warfare 2 had provided. Little do you know, you are about to experience something truly extraordinary. The campaign begins in the iconic Modern Warfare 2 opening flashes across the screen as you're instantly transported into a different world. A world that oddly mirrors a lot of the real-world events that are happening. But this time, you are a part of the narrative, and you must become the hero in the midst of all the chaos. The opening sequence fills your senses with pounding beats from Hans Zimmer's epic score, setting the tone for this unforgettable odyssey. Your eyes widen as you witness the breathtaking visuals and meticulous attention to detail. From the sprawling urban landscapes to frigid mountain terrains, every pixel holds a unique depiction of this world in turmoil, and it feels as if you are a part of a blockbuster movie where you control the main character's every move. Early on, you navigate through the intense and heart-pounding missions. The camaraderie with fellow soldiers, the deafening gunfire, and the spine-chilling explosions all blend seamlessly, immersing you in the chaos and uncertainty of war. Oftentimes, the allies that you have are quickly fleshed out, yet they grow on you as the early levels provide a unique experience of procedure and execution being performed flawlessly, from infiltrating enemy lines to engaging in heart-stopping firefights, always adapting to unexpected scenarios. Each moment is a thrilling adrenaline rush that keeps you on the edge of your seat. But then, things take an interesting change. A few hours in, you get to that mission. No Russian. You heard about this level already. It was controversial, and at the start of the game there was even a disclaimer warning players that they could skip a sensitive level. But the controversy surrounding this level intrigues you more than anything. You proceed onwards. You soon realize that you are put in the shoes of an actual terrorist. Now, in the back of your head, your moral compass is telling you not to go along with what the game is asking you to do, but the gripping absurdness of this level even existing in this game, or in any game, is something so far detached from the norm in the gaming industry that you continue on, at the least out of some level of curiosity and intrigue. As you proceed, you will quickly understand why, to this day, this level is still talked about as one of the most shocking levels in video game history. At the end of the level, your player character is turned on, and very soon the intention of this level starts to become clear. That war here is being represented as a cycle of death and betrayal, and Infinity Ward was showing its first example of this as a recurring theme. At this point, it's not just the action that captivates you, it's the story and characters and the emotional weight that they carry. You forge a bond with some of the characters like Soap McTavish and feel the weight and responsibility as you march alongside him. The enigmatic and ruthless Makarov, with his questionable motives, leave you questioning the blurred lines between heroism and villainy. And then, of course, there is that unforgettable betrayal that shakes you to your very core, leaving you gasping in disbelief as General Shepard kills Roach, the player character, and Ghost. While you are shocked to see Roach, the character that you were just playing as, die right in front of you, you're even more heartbroken and stunned to see your closest ally, Ghost, get blindsided beheaded and murdered in such an unceremonial and brutally unexpected way. As the campaign reaches its climax, you find yourself emotionally invested in the fate of some of these characters moving forward. The narrative twists and turns surprising you at every corner, and the ethical dilemmas you face force you to question your own morality, blurring the lines between right and wrong, and this journey that challenges your beliefs and forces you to finally confront some of the harshest realities of what war is. And an incredibly intense second and third act that, in a Call of Duty, for the first time ever, brings the battle to the US homeland. Then there's this moment of revelation where you realize that the important Whiskey Hotel objective that you had been pushing for was in fact the US White House, and you understand the severity of the situation. But amidst the chaos, there are moments of respite, and the camaraderie and banter among your fellow soldiers bring a sense of levity, reminding you that even in the darkest times, bonds of friendship can endure. And the quiet moments, you marvel at the hauntingly beautiful set pieces where the game's meticulous craftsmanship shines through, is really a one-of-a-kind experience. As the final mission approaches, a mix of excitement and sadness fills your heart. You've grown attached to these characters, dead and alive, shared in their triumphs and mourned in their losses, and sights are set away from the initial villain, Makarov, and now a quest of vengeance ensues as you personally feel motivated. You brace yourself for the climax, ready to face the ultimate challenge that awaits. When the credits roll, you find yourself sitting in awe, reflecting on the incredible journey that you had just undertaken. Modern Warfare 2's campaign has left an inevitable impression on you where years later you still will think back to this campaign with fondness, and one day maybe you'll watch a YouTube essay on the game to relive some of the nostalgia that this game still gives you to this day. After the monumental success of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 upon its release, the future looked really bright for Infinity Ward. However, the period following the game's launch was marked with significant upheaval and change within the studio. In early 2010, Infinity Ward faced major setbacks when the company founders Jason West and Vince Zampella were unexpectedly dismissed by their parent company Activision. This sparked a big legal battle between the two parties, with West and Zampella accusing Activision of breach of contract and wrongful termination. The fallout from this dispute actually led to the departure of several key members of the Infinity Ward team, including prominent developers and creative minds that were known for creating Modern Warfare 2. Despite this turmoil, Infinity Ward still pushed forward continuing support on Modern Warfare 2 through a series of DLCs that were released in 2010, including new maps in the DLC packs, Stimulus Package and the Resurgence Pack, which were very popular DLCs and kept players engaged even longer, and Infinity Ward did still push on with development for the sequel, which was supposed to release in a 2-year window after Modern Warfare 2. As Infinity Ward weathered this storm of many developers leaving, Activision had to move Sledgehammer Games, another Activision subsidiary, away from a Call of Duty project that they were working on to help co-develop the new follow-up game. This partnership aimed to deliver a thrilling continuation of the Modern Warfare storyline that was built upon the foundation set by its predecessors that were no longer there. However, during this period, another Call of Duty title was also in development by Treyarch, another studio under Activision's umbrella, and they were working on Call of Duty Black Ops, which was set to release in late 2010, which would aim to push the boundaries of Call of Duty even more than ever before. November 8, 2010, the day before Call of Duty Black Ops releases. Over the course of the last year, you have experienced one of the most memorable online and single-player games that had ever released prior. And while your attention still is drawn to other video games that release, like Halo Reach, which released earlier that year, or loading into old World at War for the occasional COD zombie night with the boys, you still have an affinity towards Modern Warfare 2. But with this being the final night before Black Ops releases, you decide it's time for one last ride through the war-torn battlefields of Modern Warfare 2. With each explosion and enemy takedown, memories flood back. The countless hours spent mastering quickscoping with the intervention, and the rush of landing those perfect throwing knife kills, the thrill of chaining together kill streaks, or screaming insults at the random players on your team. The large selection of maps that you once roamed in battle now are as familiar as your own neighborhood. But tonight is more than just reliving those past triumphs. It's about cherishing the camaraderie and connection forged in the lobbies and voice chats. The friends and rivals from around the globe gather one last time to share stories, laughter, and honestly just yell at each other some more in multiplayer. And no matter how toxic or obnoxious these lobbies would get, there was something oddly comforting about the banter and background noise of people just talking about Call of Duty in a multiplayer game, or just talking about whatever else they're randomly talking about while hot micing. It's really a unique experience that you had to have been there for. As the hours tick by, the nostalgia grows bittersweet. You jump in a private match and load up Rust with the boys one last time to do some quick scope lobbies where the last kill has to be a 360 no scope. As the night gets later, the game officially releases in midnight in Australia. With a mix of sadness and excitement, you power down your console knowing tomorrow will bring a new adventure, new maps, and maybe new friendships. But there was something about Modern Warfare 2 that was completely unmatched and will forever hold a special place in your gaming journey, an emblem of a time filled with thrilling battles, late night sessions, and unforgettable moments. Hey, thanks so much for watching. This was a very different type of video. I spent a ton of time writing it. So if you liked it, maybe subscribe with notifications on for more videos like this in the future. That's the best way to gauge if these types of videos do well. Also, huge thank you to our patrons who have thrown a few bucks a month our way to help support our content. You guys are kind of the best. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time with a new video.